Hi there, it's board certified dermatologist and skin wellness expert Dr. Cynthia Bailey. And I'm filming YouTube today in my kitchen because I'm going to show you how I make a oat-based granola. So this is a granola I ate for years. Now I've actually personally transitioned to a more paleo granola, but my husband still eats this granola and he loves it. My husband can eat massive amounts of grains and oats, and in fact he's a fuel burner, so he needs them. I don't. So this granola is oat-based, it's low glycemic, it's full of nuts and seeds, so it's full of vitamins and minerals and omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants. It has some coconut flakes in it, and it is sweetened, and the oil and sweet mixture sort of toasted with a combination of maple syrup and coconut oil. You could make this with butter instead of coconut oil. When you make it with coconut oil, it's basically vegan. If you used butter, it wouldn't be. I use maple syrup, so it's also vegan. If I used honey, it wouldn't be vegan. So you have the opportunity to tweak this recipe in any number of ways according to the dietary goals that you have. It is high in fiber, excellent for the intestinal microbiome and for digestion because oats are wonderful for digestion. Nuts have protein, so it's a really good way to start the day. And my husband eats, like I said, massive amounts of this granola. So it's oat-based, and I'm going to make a lot because he goes through this, and when I am making this granola, it takes me a long time turning it in the oven. So I'm going to start with the oats. This is about 6 cups, this container here. This is for my other granola. So here we have, it's going to be so much, I don't actually have a bowl that's big enough. So this is about 5-ish cups. And again, I'm not precise. There's very little I do in the kitchen that's precise. I cook and do things. I think I'll save some of those. I cook and do things based on what's available in the pantry and kind of where my taste buds are going. I live in the country. We don't just run to the grocery store because we're out of stuff because it takes a long time to get there. Well, not a really long time, but kind of. So each one of these roasting pans has about 5 cups of oats in it. And now I'm going to start putting in some of the seeds. Again, when you're picking seeds, you want to make sure they're not rancid. So if I'm buying them in bulk, I sort of try to waft the air as I open the bulk container to make sure I don't smell anything rancid. So this is about 1 cup in that one. It's probably a little less than 1 cup in that one. These are going to all get mixed together, so it doesn't really matter. I'm using hemp seeds today. I was kind of in the mood when I was at the store, so my husband's going to get some hemp seeds. Again, they're nutrient packed. Now, because I've opened them, so they were unopened in an airtight container, because I've opened them, I'm going to keep them in the fridge because I don't want to serve seeds or nuts to my family that are rancid. Chia seeds. Now, chia seeds, on the other hand, don't seem to go bad as quickly, so I don't have to be as fussy about where I keep my chia seeds. Chia seeds are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, very helpful. Here's some sesame seeds. So my husband's going to get some sesame seeds in his breakfast. That's about 1 cup. These things are expensive. So making granola at home, you get to pick the ratio of things that you want in it. It is still a little bit pricey, but a little bit cheaper than if I were buying it pre-made. So here are pumpkin seeds. And again, I gave them the sniff test in the bulk department. When possible, I buy my seeds, especially sunflower and pumpkin, pre-sprouted because that does change the nutritional content. There's something called phytic acid in seeds that binds to minerals, and so It can result in less minerals in your food becoming available for your body. When you buy pre-sprouted seeds, the pre-sprouting process or the soaking process diminishes the phytic acid, and so you have more minerals from the food available for your body. Next is almonds, and that's about a cup-ish. Again, this is not precise, sort of like whatever's around. And here's some more almonds. And the other one, back up a little more. And pecans. My husband's from the South, he loves pecans. So, lots of pecans for him. And I'm gonna give him some buckwheat. He doesn't normally, I haven't put buckwheat in his oatmeal before. I think he's gonna like it. I love buckwheat. Buckwheat is technically a seed. It is not wheat. So it is gluten-free. And I think he's gonna get all of that. So I'm gonna mix these up a little bit so that once I add the wet ingredients, they are a little bit more dispersed, because the wet ingredients is gonna sort of globularize things together, and I want them to be fairly evenly dispersed. You may notice that I'm not putting in any dried fruit. You know, often granola comes with dried fruit in it, but I find that makes the granola less crispy and less toasty. So as it's stored, it tends to get a little soggy, and we don't like that. We like our granola toasty. So for the fruit, what I'm putting in, or for the sort of softer part of the granola, I use coconut, desiccated or dried coconut, instead of raisins or something that would have more moisture in it. So this is dried, desiccated, and it won't make the granola mushy. So here you can see the dry ingredients, nice mixture here. Now for the wet ingredients, I use a combination of coconut oil and maple syrup, and it's a little more maple syrup than coconut oil, but otherwise it's pretty close to a 1-to-1 ratio. So I had some left over already from the granola I made for myself, and I'm going to add, again, you can see how imprecise I am. So it was, you know, there was some sort of mixture of it down there, and now I'm adding some more. I've done this so many times, I know that whatever I do, it's going to be delicious. I've figured out what our taste buds are. So everyone, you know, if you decide to do this, as you start doing it, you'll figure out what you like. We don't like it too sweet. We don't like it too oily. And I add the salt at this point. And again, I am not precise. So there's some salt. It's probably a tablespoon. But given all of this volume I have here. So now I'm going to start mixing it together. Mixing in the wet, and the oats absorb quite a bit actually. Looks good. Like I said, I ate this myself for years until my body decided it wanted less grains. In which case, I switched to a more paleo recipe. And we're sort of paleo, although we're plant-based paleo, which means we eat a lot of vegetables and a lot of beans. A little bit of meat, some goat dairy. I don't eat cow dairy, it doesn't agree with me. But I love cheese, so goat dairy, thank goodness, agrees with me. Now I'm going to put these in the oven at 325-ish. It varies, and I don't think my ovens are precise anyways. And of course the one on the top is going to brown faster than the one on the bottom, and the one on the bottom will brown more on the bottom of the pan. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on them and switch them out and check them in at 15-minute increments, and stay in the kitchen and use my nose to make sure I'm not over roasting. So I'll show you what these look like when they're done. So here's the finished product with my husband's oat-based granola. It's nice and toasty, it's dry, just a little caramelization on some of the components like the coconut. It always caramelizes and toasts a little bit. This was the pan on the bottom, and so it always cooks a little bit more in my oven on the bottom, even though I've stirred it diligently. It's always a little more cooked on the bottom. And this was the one on the top, a little more even in how it's cooked. And this ought to hold my husband for about a month. Like I said, he goes through this stuff. He has a fuel-burning physiology and needs to tank up in the morning before he goes to work with a lot of granola and fruit on top, as opposed to me who uses fruit and puts granola on top. So I hope that gives you some ideas on how you might be able to make your own granola and use the ingredients that you like the best, and a sweetener that has a lower glycemic index than cane sugar, either maple syrup as I choose, or if you want honey or agave. It really is, you know, kind of what's in your pantry, what you need to use up and what you like the best. And a mixture of oats with nuts and seeds and a little toasted or desiccated coconut that then becomes toasted. So it's easy, it's economical compared to buying commercial granola, and you get to choose your flavor combination and your nutrient combination, and you get to make it as low glycemic as you like, and it's still absolutely delicious. So these have to cool for a long time. I don't put them in their glass jars until this is entirely cool, because otherwise it actually causes a little bit of moisture to form and the granola will not stay as toasty and dry as my husband likes it. So there you have it. I hope that was interesting to you, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.